friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and I sell them for a profit. Today is Saturday, January 18th. I have 7 packages, I believe, to ship out. I may have miscounted. My gross sales amount is $177.71. Some of these are decent, good. Some of these are still from the clearance sale, and that's okay because things are moving. And here's some things in the background. My husband is in our other garage, like his workshop, and he's sanding right now. So I can hear it. I don't know if you can, but sorry. The first item is 2 items. I got a bundle sale on Poshmark, which is always super fun. It is a pair of these J.Crew pants, and these are corduroy pants. Now, the average sale price for J.Crew corduroy pants are $18.26 with a 33% sell-through rate. Not bad. These took forever to sell, 15 months actually, and I paid $5 for them, which I realize for some people $5 might be not much, but for me $5 is kind of paying up for something that's going to sell, in this case, for $16. I had them listed for $20 and they sold for 20% off. The other item was $40 in the bundle, and the buyer sent an offer for $48, so the total was $60 for the bundle. They sent an offer for $48, which is 20% off. That's what I would have sent them, so I gladly accepted. The pants I bought at a local Goodwill, and like I said, 15 months, so my profit on the pants was $7.80. Now, this other thing is pretty cool. This is a vintage sweater. If you've been, watching my videos very long, I like vintage sweaters. This crew neck, kind of geometric print, that's a good combo. Even better if it's USA made. This one is not. This one's Taiwan, but really nice vintage sweater. This is pretty much the look of all the vintage men's vintage sweaters that I've sold this year. And when I say this year, I mean this fall and winter, not 2025. This actually might be the first vintage sweater of 2025. I'm not really sure. Anyway, when I look up vintage sweater geometric crew neck, the average sale price is $33.97 with a 17% sell-through rate. Now that sell-through rate doesn't sound like a lot, but like I said, this particular look sells really well for me. So I have priced that style of vintage sweater at $40. Usually my vintage sweaters I price at $30, but this season I've been pricing just that style at $40. So it sold for $32, which is great. Took 2 months to sell, much different. And I bought this at my favorite thrift store, my old favorite thrift store, which I went to yesterday and spent the most money I have ever spent there. It was kind of insane. I haven't looked through it yet again, and I'm a little nervous. Like, what did I do? Anyway, my profit on the sweater then is $25.08. I do wrap everything in tissue paper, and I give it a little thank you sticker. When things sell on Poshmark, they can go into a priority shipping box, envelope, anything that you want. Today I'm using a box. My adhesive isn't wanting to stick, probably because it's a ridiculously low temperature out. And I find that adhesive doesn't like to stick very much when it's super cold. It is cold in my garage too. I have 2 sweatshirts on. I added the beanie. I thought about getting gloves on because my hands get really cold when I do this, but I don't know if I'll be able to function with gloves on. Anyway, super excited about this little bundle. Next item sold on Poshmark, and I might have to take a lint roller to this. This is a Banana Republic sweatshirt. It just has like a little pleat here on the sleeve, so it kind of makes it like a little puff sleeve. This is Banana Republic. It's actually Banana Republic Factory, and you can tell by the little dots underneath. All right, while I am lint rolling real fast, let me tell you a little story. So this I got from some friends of mine in July. They were gonna have a yard sale. They did have a yard sale. And they have always been really super supportive of me reselling, and they watch my videos occasionally, and they're really supportive and great. They're not super close friends too, which is kind of funny, but the husband is pretty close to my husband, but I'm not super close to the wife. I don't know. You probably don't need that much detail. Anyway, they were thinking that they wanted to do like a consignment deal. And so I went over and looked at all their stuff, and it was all like J.Crew, Madewell, Banana Republic. So I would look through, made a little stack, and I was like, okay, here's what I think. Most of this stuff is gonna sell between $15 and $25 based off of my experience. There might be a couple outliers either way. We can do consignment, but our profit is gonna be like roughly, I would say on average, $12 per item. So you would make $6 per item, and there's no guarantee of that. So we can do that, or I'll buy them outright for $3 per item. And they were like, yeah, let's do that. Why worry about, you know, trying to figure out Venmo every month or whatever, like. So I handed them $60, and I had 20 of their items, and this is one of them. So I looked today because I was like, oh yeah, I had kind of forgotten about it because I hadn't sold anything in a while. I was like, I wonder how that ended up going. And I was right. Everything sold between about $15 and $24. There were a couple items I had made $16 on, but most was right around that $12. So I had sold, I don't know if I said this, I had sold 14 of the 20 items. So I think that's pretty good after 6 months. That's not terrible. I forget the exact amount, but it was about $150 that I had made after my $60 investment. So I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. Not too bad overall. Oh my word. Okay. I say this every time I have to lint roll, but I hate lint rollers. I don't think they work very well. I've tried so many. This is the best one that I've tried, and it's still not great. And it might be the whole, you know, it's cold. The sticky might not be very sticky right now. But I don't think they work in the summer either, so. And I just, when something's all black like this, there's so many little things that show up. Okay. So this ended up selling for $15 after my $3 fee on Poshmark, my $3 cost of goods. I do not offer a shipping discount on Poshmark ever. I don't think I ever have since they changed it. It used to be that when you sent an offer, you had to also offer a shipping discount, but they don't do that anymore. My profit is $9 on this sweatshirt. Oh, the average sale price for a Banana Republic sweatshirt is $14.08, women's sweatshirt. Sell-through rate is less than 1%. It was like 48% or something ridiculously low. So, not great. All right. This is going in a Tyvek mailer. I always add stickers to the ends of the Tyvek mailers because they have little flaps that I don't think stay down. These are just priority mail stickers that you can also get for free from the USPS. All right. I sold something on Curtsy. Now, Curtsy is, you don't have to cross list to Curtsy, because when you just sign up for Curtsy, and then it says import all your items from Poshmark, and then it continues to do that. Now, somebody asked, and I don't know the answer, if they automatically delete your item off of Poshmark if it sells on Curtsy. I go through and do that through Vendu anyway, so I don't know if it's an automatic delist. I would guess no, to be on the safe side until someone confirmed. Anyway, this is a vintage vest. It is Wrangler Blues is the brand. It says blues there on the back. I do believe this, like, it's applique and embroidered. It's like embroidered on applique, was put on like aftermarket, because it is like embroidered into the label here. And yeah, so anyway, there were no solds of any vintage denim vest with embroidery. None. So this I had listed, I think probably for $30 on Curtsy. I don't understand exactly how everything works over there. They asked me if I would take 26. It does tell you what your earnings will be when you accept an offer. So it said my earnings would be $13. So what it looks like is, when I went back in and looked at it, it looks like I sold it for 26. The fee was $3.25, and then shipping was $9.95. It would not have cost me $9.95 to ship through a pirate shipper. That's what I use for like Depop, but that's okay. I bought this at a church yard sale, garage sale, rummage sale 8 months ago. I spent $2 on it. So that makes my profit $11. That's okay, especially considering there was 0 solds on anything similar. These make me so sad. Okay, this is kind of crazy. The rest of my sales are all pants. And I already sold a corduroy pair of pants. I have 3 corduroy pants, pairs of corduroy pants. So crazy. All right, these make me so sad. These are little Levi's. They are vintage. They have an orange tab, which indicates vintage. They also have this really cool tag. They're little Levi's. And then check out that tag, so cool. 12 months, 100% cotton, made in the USA, all things I love to see on Levi's. Usually there's a 4-digit code that tells you the year it was made, but this one does not. And so I don't know when exactly it's made. I believe the orange tab are 70s. I'm not an expert by any means, but the little overalls are Levi brand, or the little suspenders are Levi branded. There was nothing with like suspenders similar to this. I priced them originally at like $50, and then I've been lowering the price, and they finally sold for $11.96. Sorry. The average sale price, so what I looked up was vintage Levi's toddler orange tab USA. And the average sale price was $24.17 with a 22% sell-through rate. And again, the suspenders were pretty unique. So I don't know what I did, if I listed them wrong, if they really just aren't as cool as I think they are. I did spend $5 on them at a local thrift store that benefits our Humane Society. I don't go there very often. My profit on these was $3.77, and I bought them in 2022. So that's why they make me kind of sad. Because I spent $5 and hung on to them for at least 2 years, and here we are, making $3. That's not how I want my things to be, how I want to run my business, right? Now, I'm getting some really cool vintage little baby jeans, a second chance at life. with someone who's going to love them, so I'm going to focus on that. But man, that just made me sad. I really thought they were gonna like sell instantly for $50 because they were just, I don't know. I think even then, vintage baby stuff like Oshkosh overalls, I mean, in 2022, those were selling a lot faster. Vintage Levi's were selling a lot faster for me 2 years ago. I don't know. All right, corduroy pants number 2. These are a plus size J.Jill corduroy. It says, the lighting's terrible, I'm sorry. It's weird, maybe that was something else. Oh, maybe it was this one. I thought I had like the original MSRP, but it was actually ripped off on that one, on this one, but I don't know where I saw it. Maybe I saw it somewhere else. Anyway, J.Jill pants, corduroy, new and plus size, have an average sale price of $28.03 with a 17% sell-through rate. Not high sell-through rate at all. Had these listed, I think, at $30, and then someone took the 20% off offer of $23.97 with shipping. They paid a total of $30.95. They were 11 months to sell. I paid $1 for them at my new favorite thrift store, which I haven't been to in way too long. I think November was the last time I went, maybe even October. And my profit on these is $19.43, which is great. 11 months is a little bit longer than I would prefer. Things, you know, hang out. I want to sell things, not store them. But better than 2 years, right? I get real excited if things sell in less than 3 months. If they sell in under 6, I'm happy. If they sell at all, I'm happy. Let's be honest. All right. Pant number, I don't know, 5? Is this the 5th pair of pants? These are not corduroy though. These are new with tags, Polo Ralph Lauren. These are men's. And new with tags, they're called the Bedford Chino. There's that and that. The average sale price is $44.40 with a 22% sell-through rate. I've had these for 17 months. I had them started at $50 and they ended up in my 60% off clearance sale. They sold for $15.95. With shipping, they paid a total, they must have used my 15% off coupon too. With shipping, they paid $20.54. I paid $2 for them at a local thrift store. And my profit is $9.41. I don't know if it was the color. I mean, 22% is not a high sell-through rate by any means. But I would have thought they would have sold faster. And for a little more money. But that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta clear out space. Make some room for the new. I'm curious if you do clearance sales for old stuff. My clearance sale is everything that was listed in 2023 or before. I don't have much left that was listed in 2022. Just the things like those Levi's that I got emotionally attached to that I shouldn't have because these are not emotional things. Just inventory, right? Not relationships. Okay, the last item, save the best for last. I did not. But pant number 6 and corduroy number 3. These are a pair of vintage hydraulics corduroy jeans. They have a flat pocket. They have a button fly. Very like Y2K style. I know because this is what I would have worn when I was like 20. love these pants. I don't know if it's the Y2K style that they're wearing now, but it is a Y2K style. The only ones that sold were these. So, and that made it an 8% sell-through rate. So not, you know, Hydraulic was a brand that I could buy and it would sell pretty quickly for about $15. And now the last few things that I bought haven't really sold well or fast or at all. These sold for, I had them listed for like $13, nothing high, and somebody offered me 10. Sure, I'm gonna take that. I've had them for 18 months. Actually, I wonder if they were 13 in the half off sale. I'm not really sure, honestly. Anyway, I bought them at a garage sale for, it says $1.58. No one had these priced $1.58 at a garage sale. Probably what happened is I went to a garage sale and forgot how much each individual item was and then just did an average cost of goods. But I haven't been to garage sales in forever. I think I went over Labor Day weekend, and those were the only sales I went to all summer in 2024. It's kind of sad. I think most of the garage sales in my area are in like June, like the good ones, like the neighborhood sales and stuff. And I am gone most of June usually because of, that's when we do our camps that our children attend and I help with. And we travel a lot and can't go camping and things like that. Anyway, I made a total of $7.98 on those pants, which is, you know, better than nothing. Better than redonating them. My profit for the day was $93.47. I'm thrilled with that. This was a really good day. I'm not really sure where that came from, but I'll take it. I will take it. All right, question of the day. Who is your favorite fictional character? Mine's Phoebe Buffay. We've been watching Friends lately. We watched it, you know, originally kind of. And then we've just watched it all through our adult lives. We joked all the time when we were in our 20s that they were our actual friends. And we didn't have real life friends at that point. We do now, which is good. Yeah, so we've been rewatching Friends, and Phoebe is just, she's so quirky and fun. But we were talking the other day about how, like, she has so much trauma in her life. If you've ever watched Friends, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And obviously, I'm talking about a fictional character. She's not real, but she has so much trauma in her life. And yet, she's like the most emotionally healthy one of the group. She just approaches relationships. She sets boundaries really well. Yeah, anyway, she's quirky and fun and yet emotionally healthy. There. So she's my favorite fictional character. Who is yours? Can be, anything. In a book, in a TV show, a movie, an animated character. Who's your favorite fictional character and why? If you want to divulge. If you don't, that's fine too. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like the video. If you liked it, subscribe. If you haven't already, I do these ship with me videos every day to kind of chronicle what a part-time reseller is actually selling in real time. Today is the 18th of January. I literally sold these things yesterday. I'm shipping them now and uploading the video later tonight. So it's real time what is actually selling. So if that's interesting to you, make sure you subscribe. And if not, that's okay. We can still be friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. I'll see you soon.